Joining me now to discuss Fox News senior strategic analyst, General Jack Keane. General, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good to see you, Maria.
We have a lot to talk about on this anniversary of that fateful day. Let me start off with what's taking place in North Korea. What do you make of this letter from Kim Jong-un wanting a second summit?
Yeah, it seems like we've been here before. If you recall, we were going to have a summit, and then there was some belligerent language that came out of the North Koreans, and President Trump canceled that summit. Quickly thereafter, North Koreans came back with some very positive diplomatic language. We had a summit. And this positive letter is a result of a belligerent letter they sent, and President Trump canceled Secretary Pompeo's visit. So this is the challenges we've been in with dealing with the North Koreans. We seem to take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And I'm hoping that this time the North Koreans come forward and are actually putting a denuclearization plan on the table for us to be able to observe with international inspectors and actually make some progress. Despite all the other positive signs of remains being returned, hostages being returned, the talk of ending an armistice and the war finally after all of these years, there still has been no concrete denuclearization that we're aware of. And that is the most vital step that has to be taken here.
And did it strike you that when the North Koreans did that military parade earlier this week, there were no missiles, that they were showing off as in the past?
Yeah, certainly. Those military parades are clearly message parades, propaganda, largely designed for their own audience as well as an international audience. This time, clearly sending unequivocal message by not having those missiles there.
Right.
And certainly the friendly letter is part of that. We'll see if something positive comes of it.
Let me ask you about Russia and China, because Russian war games are joined by thousands of Chinese troops. Vladimir Putin sitting down for a bilateral meeting with Xi Jinping. Should we be worried about growing military ties between Russia and China right now?
Yeah, absolutely. The national security strategy that the Trump administration produced last year, and also the national defense strategy that the Pentagon produced, identify a different era that we're in. And they describe it, I think, very accurately, the strategic framework of big power competition with Russia and China. Both of them are advancing their militaries at a remarkable pace. China advanced at paces the greatest of any country in the world, to include the United States. And they are developing capabilities that expose our vulnerabilities and advantage themselves. And we just got to recognize that. They look at this international order, Maria, that we've had for 70-plus years, that in our minds has helped to provide stability and security and prosperity in the world. They see that as not in their national interest, and they want to change it. So they're getting considerably more aggressive, and they're developing capabilities to expand their military so they can deploy it, something the Chinese had never done before, and something the Russians obviously are doing, as you see in Crimea, in Ukraine, and now in Syria.
You know, General, here we are 17 years after 9/11, and we're still learning the cost of war since 9/11. We have a new analysis this morning from the Department of Defense saying that the U.S. has spent more than $1.5 trillion on wars in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria since September 11th, 2001. Characterize where we are right now, General, after we've seen such efforts to push back against terrorists since that fateful day, September 11th, 2001.
Well, I think on the positive side, we haven't seen catastrophic attacks in the United States or in Europe by these terrorists, because we've stayed on offense against them. It clearly was the thing to do, that no longer just to treat them as criminals and bring them in a criminal justice system. We had to go out there post 9/11, find them in their sanctuaries, and kill and capture them. That was it became a mission for the United States military, not a mission for investigators. That was the right decision. It still is the right decision. The challenge we have is because it is an ideology, Maria, despite the numbers that we've killed and despite the numbers that we've captured, it's obvious we can't shoot our way out of this war. We have to get young people to move in a direction other than fanaticism and radical Islam and choose a better purpose with their lives. We can't do that here from America. That has to be done inside Muslim countries. It has to be done inside Islam. It has to be done with parents, community leaders, and other thought leaders in those countries. President Trump has appealed to the leaders of those countries, 55 of them in a room with him last July in Riyadh, and saying much the same thing. But we will also continue the fight against radical Islam, because you've got to hold this horrific behavior accountable, this barbarism we just cannot ignore. But at the same time, we've got to work very hard on changing this ideology, because that's what drives the movement. You kill a leader, he's replaced. You kill a fighter, they're replaced. Why? Because it's an ideology and people are still called to this movement.
Should the president be doing something differently right now?
Well, I think we've done good work in Syria. In terms of eliminating that caliphate. What we have to make certain we do, and I believe the administration has made this decision, and we'll stay there. Even though the president's instincts are to leave, we'll stay and make certain that ISIS does not reemerge. If ISIS reemerges, the president of the United States owns that problem. And I think they recognize that.
Because he started off with a very different strategy than Barack Obama, didn't he? I mean, he basically got tougher listening to his generals in terms of what to do rather than taking a step back.
No, that's true. It's absolutely true. And we've obviously assisted in defeating ISIS in Iraq, but that's also going to take vigilance. We can't be leaving Iraq like President Obama did. We have to be willing to stay the course. Remember, I mean, we stayed in Europe post-World War II, in Japan, in South Korea. We stayed for generations to help stabilize countries post-conflict.
Right.
Where we've done that, we've had some success. When we leave prematurely, like we did in Vietnam, like we did in Iraq, like we did in Libya after we deposed Gaddafi, we continue to have problems. But we have to educate the American people why this is necessary, why this still remains important.
Because people don't, they call it the longest war. Why are we still there? Why are we in these places? And then, of course, there's Syria. National Security Advisor Ambassador John Bolton is warning the country that there will be consequences should they use chemical weapons in the fight for the Idlib province. Here's what he said yesterday in Washington. Listen to this. Got to get your reaction.
We've tried to convey the message in recent days that if there's a third use of chemical weapons, the response will be much stronger. And I can say we've been in consultation with the British and the French, who joined us in the second strike, and they also agree that another use of chemical weapons will result in a much stronger response.
This administration is making no secret of the red line and warnings not to cross it, General.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought the second strike, we should have gone after more capability, particularly all of their air power, to send a clear message that we're never going to tolerate this again and take away a lot of capacity. I think that's where they are now. They'll go after it in a very comprehensive way if they use chemical weapons again.
By the way, before we go, I've got a Twitter follower, Sherry, is asking, please ask the general about the North Korean economy. Is missile manufacturing still the main source of revenue? This is coming from our viewers.
Missile manufacturing and weapons manufacturing writ large is one of their main sources of revenue and will continue to be that. That's one of the reasons why North Korea is so dangerous, because we're not certain how many nuclear weapons they have. We think it's in excess of 10, and of course every year it'll continue to grow if they don't denuclearize. What are they going to do with those weapons? Well, some of those weapons they're going to sell.
Right.
That's the thing we're concerned about, and they sell their missiles.
All right, we will leave it there. General, it's good to have you on the program as always. Great to talk with you, sir. Thanks so much.
Good talking to you, Maria.
General Jack Keane there.